Emperor Nero, born Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus in 37 AD, ascended to the throne of the Roman Empire in 54 AD at the tender age of 16. Nero's rule, spanning from 54 to 68 AD, occupies a pivotal and controversial place in Roman history. As the last of the Julio-Claudian emperors, he inherited a position of immense power and authority, and his reign was marked by a combination of artistic pursuits, political intrigue, and scandalous controversies. Let's explore some of the notable controversies surrounding Nero. Great Fire of Rome, 64 AD. The Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD was a devastating event that had far-reaching consequences for the city and its inhabitants. While historical records vary, the commonly accepted narrative is that Nero was not directly responsible for starting the fire. However, his involvement in the aftermath and the subsequent rebuilding efforts raised suspicions and fueled rumors about his role in the disaster. According to historical accounts, the fire began in the densely populated areas of the city and quickly spread, consuming large portions of Rome. The flames raged for 6 days and 7 nights, causing widespread destruction and leaving a significant portion of the city in ruins. During the fire, Nero was reportedly at his villa in Antium, and upon hearing about the disaster, he returned to Rome to coordinate relief efforts. However, the rumors that Nero played a role in the fire persisted, with some suggesting that he may have taken advantage of the catastrophe to further his own ambitions. One theory proposes that Nero saw the fire as an opportunity to implement grand urban planning projects. The most famous of these projects was the construction of the Domus Aurea, or the Golden House, a massive and opulent palace that covered a substantial portion of the city. Some sources indicate that Nero cleared large areas of damaged structures, making way for his ambitious architectural endeavors. The idea that Nero deliberately allowed or encouraged the fire to advance his construction projects is contentious and lacks conclusive historical evidence. The primary ancient sources on this matter, such as Tacitus and Suetonius, offer different perspectives, and some modern historians argue that Nero's involvement in the fire might have been exaggerated or politically motivated. Persecution of Christians under Nero. In the aftermath of the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD, Emperor Nero became intricately linked to the persecution of Christians, a dark chapter in Roman history that would leave an enduring impact on the early Christian community. The fire, which had devastated significant portions of Rome, left the city in ruins. In a move that would shape his legacy, Nero sought a scapegoat to deflect blame for the disaster. Christians, a religious minority at the time, became the convenient target. Rumors circulated that Nero and his officials laid the blame squarely on the shoulders of Christians, accusing them of conspiring to burn Rome. The scapegoating of Christians led to a wave of harsh and state-sanctioned persecutions. Nero subjected Christians to brutal punishments, including torture and public executions. Historical accounts describe gruesome forms of punishment, such as crucifixions, burning at the stake, and being thrown to wild animals in arenas for public entertainment. Christianity was a relatively new and rapidly growing religious movement in the Roman Empire. The Christian refusal to worship the Roman gods and the emperor as divine figures raised suspicions and fueled animosity among the Roman populace. The persecution of Christians under Nero served a dual purpose. Firstly, it diverted attention away from any potential criticism or scrutiny of Nero's role in the Great Fire. Secondly, it sent a clear message to religious minorities in the empire: conform to the traditional Roman religious practices or face severe consequences. Nero's actions marked the beginning of state-sponsored persecution against Christians in the Roman Empire. The persecution, although initially localized in Rome, set a precedent for later emperors to follow. It established a pattern of suspicion and hostility towards Christians, a pattern that persisted for centuries. Assassination of family members under Nero. The reign of Emperor Nero was characterized not only by political controversies and persecution, but also by a series of sinister events involving the deaths of several family members, which further deepened the shadows surrounding his rule. Nero's mother, Agrippina the Younger, played a significant role in his rise to power. However, their relationship soured over time. Agrippina was known for her political maneuvering and influence over her son. As Nero sought to consolidate his power, tensions escalated. In 59 AD, Nero was implicated in a plot to kill Agrippina, culminating in her assassination. Some historical accounts suggest that Nero attempted various methods, including poisoning and orchestrating a shipwreck, to eliminate his mother. Britannicus, Nero's stepbrother and the natural son of Claudius, was another victim of Nero's alleged treachery. Britannicus was a potential rival for the throne, and Nero perceived him as a threat to his rule. Britannicus died in 55 AD under suspicious circumstances, with poison suspected as the cause. This event solidified Nero's grip on power, but added to the growing suspicions about his willingness to eliminate potential contenders. Nero's first wife, Octavia, faced a tragic fate as well. Their marriage was marked by political and personal discord. Nero, seeking to rid himself of Octavia, accused her of adultery and subsequently divorced her. In 62 AD, Octavia was executed, further staining Nero's reputation. The deaths of Agrippina, Britannicus, and Octavia fueled rumors and speculation about Nero's ruthlessness and a willingness to resort to murder to secure and maintain his position. Whether driven by political calculations, personal animosities, or both, these events contributed to a growing narrative of Nero as a tyrant willing to eliminate those perceived as threats. The historical record of Nero's involvement in these deaths is complex, and accounts vary among ancient sources. Tacitus, Suetonius, and Dio Cassius provide differing perspectives, and historical interpretations continue to be the subject of scholarly debate. Some argue that Nero's culpability may have been exaggerated or manipulated by political rivals seeking to tarnish his legacy. Extravagant lifestyle and financial strain. Emperor Nero's reign was characterized by opulence, excess, and a penchant for lavish expenditures that significantly strained the Roman economy. Nero's extravagant lifestyle, coupled with his costly public spectacles and ambitious construction projects, left a lasting impact on the financial stability of the empire and fueled discontent among the Roman populace. Nero was notorious for organizing elaborate public spectacles, including gladiator games, chariot races, and theatrical performances. These events were not only frequent, but also characterized by a level of grandiosity and excess that surpassed the norms of previous emperors. The massive scale of these spectacles incurred enormous costs, from the construction of specialized arenas to the provision of gladiators, exotic animals, and intricate sets. One of Nero's most extravagant construction projects was the Domus Aurea, or the Golden House. This opulent palace, built after the Great Fire of Rome, covered vast expanses of the city and featured luxurious gardens, lakes, and lavish decorations. The construction of such a grand residence required immense resources, further straining the treasury. To fund his extravagant lifestyle and ambitious projects, Nero implemented heavy taxation, burdening the Roman citizens and provincial subjects alike. The exorbitant taxes, coupled with a lavish and wasteful spending pattern, led to financial strain and economic hardships for the population. Nero's reign witnessed instances of financial mismanagement and corruption. The funds that could have been allocated to essential public services were diverted to fund Nero's personal pursuits and grandiose undertakings. This created a stark contrast between the emperor's extravagant lifestyle and the economic struggles faced by the common people. The financial burden imposed by Nero's extravagant lifestyle contributed to growing dissatisfaction among the Roman populace, laying the groundwork for social unrest. Nero's profligate spending and financial excesses left a lasting legacy. His reign is often cited as an example of how unchecked extravagance and fiscal irresponsibility can lead to economic decline and social discontent. The controversies surrounding Nero have left a lasting impact on historical assessments of his rule. While some aspects of his reign are praised, such as his contributions to the arts, the negative events and allegations have contributed to a largely unfavorable perception of Nero as a tyrannical and extravagant ruler. If you share a passion for unraveling the mysteries of the past, don't miss out. Be sure to hit that like button, share with fellow history enthusiasts, and subscribe to stay tuned for more riveting stories from antiquity.
In the heart of Rome, on the Ides of July in 100 BCE, Julius Caesar was born into a patrician family. Little did the city know that this infant would grow up to be a force that would shake the very foundations of the Roman Republic. Young Caesar's family ties connected him to Gaius Marius and Lucius Cornelius Sulla, two giants in Roman politics. As a teenager, he witnessed the clashes between these political titans, foreshadowing the tumultuous times ahead. Caesar's early years saw him as a military cadet, gaining recognition for acts of bravery. His prowess on the battlefield caught the eye of Rome, setting the stage for his future rise. Caesar's political acumen emerged as he navigated the intricate web of Roman politics. Shifting alliances with Marius, Sulla, and the Senate showcased his ability to adapt and survive in the treacherous political landscape. In 59 BCE, Caesar reached the pinnacle of Roman politics, becoming consul. His charisma and cunning maneuvers endeared him to the Roman populace, setting the scene for a grander performance. Enter Pompey and Crassus, two influential figures in Roman politics. Caesar orchestrated the formation of the First Triumvirate, a political alliance that would reshape the Roman political landscape. As governor of Gaul, Caesar embarked on a military campaign that would become legendary. His conquests, victories, and mastery of strategy turned him into a military hero, captivating the Roman people. In a bold move, Caesar crossed the Rubicon, a river that marked the boundary between his province and Rome. The die was cast, and the Roman Civil War began, a dramatic conflict that would determine the fate of the Republic. Caught in a political tempest in Egypt, Caesar found himself entangled in the affairs of Cleopatra and her brother Ptolemy the Thane. Love, intrigue, and power played out against the backdrop of ancient Egypt. The Battle of Pharsalus witnessed Caesar's triumph over Pompey, who fled to Egypt only to meet a tragic end. Caesar's clemency and statesmanship left an indelible mark on the Roman psyche. Back in Rome, Caesar assumed dictatorial powers. The title, Dictator Perpetuo, placed him at the pinnacle of Roman authority, but it also sowed the seeds of conspiracy and dissent. Amidst his political maneuvers, Caesar initiated the Julian calendar, a revolutionary reform that endures to this day. His vision for a more organized and efficient Rome hinted at both brilliance and hubris. As Caesar's power grew, so did the fear among senators who saw him as a potential tyrant. Conspiracies brewed and whispers of betrayal echoed through the Senate. On the Ides of March in 44 BCE, in the hallowed halls of the Senate, the conspirators struck. Betrayed by those he considered allies, Caesar fell victim to a barrage of lethal stabs. The assassination did not restore the Republic, but instead plunged Rome into chaos. The power vacuum led to the formation of the Second Triumvirate, and the stage was set for the rise of Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir. Octavian, later known as Augustus, emerged victorious in the power struggles that followed Caesar's assassination. The Republic breathed its last, making way for the Roman Empire. Caesar's legacy lived on. His military genius, political maneuvers, and tragic end left an indelible mark on the pages of history. The Roman Empire rose from the ashes of the Republic, forever changed by the life and death of Julius Caesar. If you find these stories from the annals of the past as intriguing as a page-turning novel, hit that like button, share the knowledge, And don't forget to subscribe for more riveting journeys through time.
The year is 44 BCE, and the Roman Republic is in turmoil. Julius Caesar, the charismatic and powerful dictator, has been assassinated, leaving a void at the heart of the empire. Amidst the chaos and uncertainty, a young man named Gaius Octavius, Caesar's adopted heir, emerges as a potential contender for power. Octavius, though only 18 years old, possesses a shrewd intellect and a calculated demeanor. He quickly allies himself with Mark Antony, Caesar's trusted lieutenant, and Marcus Lepidus, a former consul. Together they form the Second Triumvirate, a powerful alliance that aims to restore order and stability to Rome. The Triumvirate's initial task is to eliminate those who conspired against Caesar, including the assassins Brutus and Cassius. The Battle of Philippi in 42 BCE proves to be a decisive victory for the Triumvirate, cementing their dominance in Rome. Octavius, however, is not content with merely sharing power. He harbors ambitions to become the sole ruler of Rome. His rivalry with Mark Antony intensifies as both men vie for control of the legions and the allegiance of the Roman people. The rivalry between Octavian and Antony culminates in the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE. This epic naval clash off the coast of Greece marks a turning point in Roman history. Octavian's fleet, led by Agrippa, decisively defeats Antony's forces, aided by Cleopatra's Egyptian navy. Antony and Cleopatra flee to Egypt, where they ultimately commit suicide. Octavian emerges as the undisputed ruler of Rome, bringing an end to the civil wars that have plagued the Republic for decades. In 27 BCE, Octavian makes a shrewd political move. He publicly renounces his extraordinary powers, feigning a desire to restore the Roman Republic. However, the Senate, recognizing his indispensable role in stabilizing Rome, bestows upon him a range of titles and powers, effectively making him the first Roman emperor. Octavian adopts the name Augustus, meaning revered or majestic, signaling his new status as the undisputed leader of Rome. Under Augustus's rule, the Roman Republic transitions into the Roman Empire, marking a pivotal moment in history. Augustus's reign, known as the Principate, is a period of remarkable stability, innovation, and prosperity. He implements a series of crucial reforms, including the establishment of a professional standing army, the reorganization of provincial governance, and the introduction of a new legal system. Augustus also ushers in a cultural renaissance, reviving classical Roman virtues and promoting a rejection of moral decay. His patronage of the arts leads to a flourishing of literature, architecture, and sculpture, leaving an indelible mark on Roman civilization. Augustus's legacy extends far beyond his political and military achievements. He leaves behind a remarkable architectural heritage, including the Pantheon, the Arapacis, and the Colosseum, monuments that continue to awe and inspire generations. The Pax Romana, the relative peace that prevails during Augustus's reign, allows for a flourishing of commerce, trade, and cultural exchange. The Roman Empire, under Augustus's leadership, becomes a beacon of civilization, shaping the course of history for centuries to come. As we reflect on the life and achievements of Augustus Caesar, we recognize his profound impact on the development of Western civilization. He stands as a symbol of transformation, marking the transition from the tumultuous Roman Republic to the enduring Roman Empire. His legacy is one of political acumen, strategic brilliance, and cultural patronage. Augustus Caesar, the first Roman emperor, leaves behind a rich tapestry of achievements that continue to fascinate and inspire us today. If you've enjoyed this historical narrative, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with fellow history enthusiasts, and hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more compelling stories from the annals of time.
Ever wondered about the woman who captivated two of the most powerful men in ancient history? Join us as we unravel the fascinating life of Cleopatra, a queen whose intelligence, charm, and alliances shaped the destiny of Egypt. From her dramatic entrance into Julius Caesar's world to the tragic end alongside Mark Antony, Cleopatra's journey is a tale of power, passion, and political intrigue. Cleopatra VII, Philopator was born in 69 BCE in Alexandria, Egypt, the capital of the Ptolemaic kingdom. She belonged to the Ptolemaic dynasty, a family of Macedonian Greek origin that ruled Egypt after the death of Alexander the Great. Cleopatra's father, Ptolemy II Auletes, ruled Egypt, but his reign faced financial difficulties and internal strife. Cleopatra was educated in Alexandria and displayed remarkable intelligence and linguistic abilities. Fluent in multiple languages, she was well versed in Greek, Egyptian, and Latin. In 51 BCE, upon the death of her father, Cleopatra became co-ruler with her younger brother, Ptolemy III. However, conflicts between the siblings led to Cleopatra's exile from Egypt. Cleopatra saw an opportunity to regain the throne by aligning herself with Julius Caesar, who arrived in Egypt in 48 BCE during his pursuit of Pompeii. Cleopatra famously gained access to Caesar by having herself smuggled into his presence rolled up in a carpet. The two formed a political and romantic alliance, and Cleopatra gave birth to a son, Ptolemy XV, Philopator, Philometor Caesar, commonly known as Caesarion, whom she claimed was Caesar's child. After Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE, Cleopatra returned to Egypt. In the ensuing power struggle in Rome, she aligned herself with Mark Antony, another of Caesar's generals. Before we journey further into the twists and turns of Cleopatra's life, hit that subscribe button to stay updated on captivating historical tales. Cleopatra's relationship with Mark Antony became a pivotal aspect of her life. Antony, facing political and military challenges, sought support from Cleopatra. The two fell deeply in love, and Cleopatra had 3 children with Antony: Alexander Helios, Cleopatra Selene II, and Ptolemy Philadelphus. The relationship stirred controversy in Rome, especially when Antony divorced his Roman wife, Octavia, to be with Cleopatra. This led to further tensions between Antony and Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir, setting the stage for a significant conflict. In 31 BCE, the tensions between Octavian and Antony erupted into the Battle of Actium, a naval engagement that proved disastrous for Cleopatra and Antony. Their forces suffered a decisive defeat, and the couple retreated to Alexandria. Facing the inevitable advance of Octavian's forces, Cleopatra and Antony took their own lives in 30 BCE. According to historical accounts, Antony fell on his sword, and Cleopatra died from the bite of an asp, a venomous snake. Their deaths marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the beginning of Egypt's integration into the Roman Empire under Octavian, who later became Emperor Augustus. Cleopatra's life and demise have inspired countless works of literature, art, and film, cementing her legacy as one of history's most captivating and enigmatic figures. As we bid adieu to Cleopatra's saga, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more historical adventures, and ring that notification bell to never miss a captivating episode. Your support fuels our journey through the annals of history. Thank you for being part of it.
Tutankhamun's tomb, discovered in 1922 by the renowned archaeologist Howard Carter and his team in Egypt's Valley of the Kings, stands as one of the most iconic and remarkable archaeological finds in history. This tomb, largely intact and hidden for over 3,000 years, unveiled an unparalleled treasure trove of artifacts, shedding light on the life, death, and legacy of the boy pharaoh Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun, a pharaoh of Egypt's 18th dynasty, ascended to the throne at a young age, ruling from approximately 1336 to 1327 BC. His reign was relatively short, and his death at such a tender age remains a mystery. Despite the brevity of his rule, the artifacts found within his tomb attest to the opulence and grandeur of ancient Egyptian royalty. The tomb of Tutankhamun was unique in that it had not suffered the ravages of grave robbers, a fate that befell many other royal tombs in the Valley of the Kings. While the tomb was rushed and unfinished, its contents were preserved, offering a remarkable glimpse into the wealth and culture of ancient Egypt. Perhaps the most famous and iconic artifact from Tutankhamun's tomb is his golden death mask. This masterpiece, crafted from solid gold and weighing over 22 pounds, captures the image of the young pharaoh in exquisite detail. Adorned with a pharaoh's headdress and a regal beard, the mask is a symbol of both Tutankhamun's divinity and the artistry of ancient Egyptian craftsmen. Among the myriad treasures discovered within the tomb were 3 golden coffins, one nestled inside the other, each containing the mummified remains of Tutankhamun. These ornate coffins showcased the meticulous care taken in preserving the pharaoh's body for the afterlife. Other invaluable artifacts included a golden chariot, a throne crafted from gold and ebony, an assortment of exquisite jewelry, weaponry such as swords and daggers, and a pantheon of statues and figurines depicting various gods and goddesses. Additionally, vessels designed for food and drink illustrated the importance of providing for the pharaoh's needs in the afterlife. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb not only captivated the world but also provided invaluable insights into ancient Egyptian culture, religion, and craftsmanship. The artifacts offered a unique window into the opulence and ritualistic practices of the time. Today, these treasures are on display at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, drawing visitors from across the globe who marvel at the splendor of Tutankhamun's legacy. Tutankhamun's tomb serves as a poignant reminder of the profound richness and complexity of ancient Egyptian civilization. It is a testament to the skill, artistry, and devotion of the ancient Egyptians, while also providing a poignant glimpse into the life and untimely death of a young pharaoh who continues to capture the world's imagination.
Imagine a ruler so cruel and terrifying that his name inspires fear and fascination centuries after his death. This is the legacy of Vlad the Impaler, the real Dracula. Vlad III Dracula was a Romanian prince who ruled Wallachia in the 15th century. He is best known for his brutal methods of punishment, which included impaling his enemies on stakes. Vlad's reputation for cruelty made him the perfect inspiration for the fictional vampire Dracula, created by Bram Stoker in 1897. But what was the real Vlad the Impaler like? Was he a monster, or was he simply the product of his time? In this video, we will explore the life and legacy of Vlad the Impaler, and separate fact from fiction. Vlad III Dracula was born in 1431 into a Wallachian noble family. His father, Vlad II Dracul, was a member of the Order of the Dragon, a military order founded to fight the Ottoman Turks. Vlad III inherited his father's membership in the order and the nickname Dracul, which means dragon in Romanian. In 1442, Vlad III and his younger brother, Radu, were taken hostage by the Ottoman Turks as a way to ensure their father's loyalty. Vlad III spent 4 years in captivity, during which time he was subjected to torture and abuse. This experience is believed to have had a profound impact on Vlad's personality and contributed to his later cruelty. In 1448, Vlad III returned to Wallachia and began his reign as prince. He quickly established a reputation for being a ruthless and effective ruler. Vlad III was determined to protect Wallachia from the Ottoman Turks, and he used any means necessary to achieve his goal. One of Vlad III's most infamous methods of punishment was impalement. Impalement involved piercing a victim's body through the rectum or vagina with a sharpened stake. The victim was then left to die slowly and painfully. Vlad III used impalement to punish his enemies, both foreign and domestic. Vlad III's brutality earned him the nickname Teeps, which means the Impaler. He is estimated to have impaled tens of thousands of people during his reign. In addition to impalement, Vlad III also used other brutal methods of punishment, such as beheading, boiling alive, and skinning. He was also known for his use of torture. Vlad III's cruelty was so legendary that it inspired fear in the hearts of his enemies. Despite his brutality, Vlad III was also a popular ruler among his people. He was seen as a strong and effective leader who was willing to do whatever it took to protect his country. Vlad III also implemented a number of reforms, such as cracking down on crime and corruption. Vlad III's reign of terror came to an end in 1476, when he was killed in battle by the Ottomans. However, his legacy continues to this day. Vlad III is a controversial figure, but he is also a fascinating one. He is a reminder that even the darkest of legends can be based on real people and real events. Vlad the Impaler was a complex and controversial figure. He was a ruthless and effective ruler, but he was also a cruel and sadistic one. His legacy continues to this day, and he remains a source of fascination and fear for people all over the world. Whether Vlad the Impaler was a hero or a villain is a matter of opinion. Some people admire him for his courage and his determination to protect his people. Others condemn him for his brutality and his disregard for human life. Ultimately, it is up to each individual to decide how they view Vlad the Impaler. But there is one thing that is for sure: Vlad the Impaler was a real person who lived a very real life. He was a product of his time, but he was also a man who made his own choices. And those choices had a profound impact on the world around him. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos about history and horror.
Close your eyes and imagine a caravan stretching for miles, glittering with gold and adorned with vibrant fabrics. Over 60,000 people journey towards a sacred city, led by a king whose wealth and piety are legendary. This is the story of Mansa Musa, the Golden King of Mali, a ruler who redefined power and left an indelible mark on history. Mansa Musa was a figure of immense power, wealth, and piety, who ruled during a period of great prosperity for the empire. His life, spanning from 1280 to 1337, was a tapestry woven with threads of political intrigue, religious devotion, and unparalleled economic influence. Born into the royal lineage of Mali around 1280, Mansa Musa received a privileged upbringing. He was well educated, immersed in Islamic law, history, and languages. His early life was spent witnessing the flourishing of Mali under his grandfather, Sundiata Keita, the empire's founder. In 1312, Mansa Musa's brother, Abu Bakr II, ascended the throne. However, driven by a lifelong dream of exploring the Atlantic Ocean, Abu Bakr entrusted the kingdom to Musa and embarked on a daring voyage, never to return. This unexpected turn of events thrust Mansa Musa onto the throne in 1312. One of Mansa Musa's most defining moments arrived in 1324 when he embarked on a pilgrimage to Mecca. This was no ordinary Hajj. Mansa Musa orchestrated a spectacle of unprecedented grandeur, demonstrating the immense wealth and power of Mali. His caravan comprised over 60,000 people, including 12,000 slaves dressed in silks and brocades. Hundreds of camels laden with tons of gold accompanied the procession. Along the way, Mansa Musa generously distributed gold, causing economic booms in several regions. This act of extravagant generosity extended beyond mere display. Mansa Musa used his newfound influence to commission the construction of magnificent mosques and universities, including the renowned Sankore University in Timbuktu. This institution became a beacon of Islamic learning, attracting scholars from across the world. Mansa Musa's reign ushered in a golden age for Mali. Under his wise leadership, the empire flourished, becoming a center of culture, trade, and knowledge. He expanded Mali's territory, strengthened trade networks, and fostered a thriving economy. A devout Muslim, Mansa Musa earned the respect of leaders and scholars throughout the Islamic world. His piety and commitment to justice further cemented his reputation as a visionary leader. Though renowned for his vast wealth, Mansa Musa was more than just a king of gold. He was a man of refined habits, dedicated to religious principles and intellectual pursuits. He observed strict Islamic practices, championed justice, and possessed a deep passion for learning. He enjoyed reading, studying, and engaging in scholarly debates, enriching his mind and seeking knowledge throughout his reign. Mansa Musa's reign ended in 1337, But his legacy continues to resonate centuries later. Historians continue to debate the true extent of his wealth, the fate of his brother Abu Bakr, and the existence of a legendary lost library in Timbuktu that some believe he established. His enduring impact is undeniable. He revolutionized the economy of numerous regions, established a renowned center of learning, and left behind architectural marvels that continue to inspire awe. Mansa Musa's life remains a testament to the power of leadership, faith, and generosity, reminding us of the profound influence individuals can have on the world stage. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through the life of Mansa Musa on Ancient and Mystic. If you've enjoyed unraveling the mysteries of history and exploring the legacy of this legendary figure, don't forget to hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe for more captivating tales from the ancient world.
Alexander the Great, one of history's most renowned conquerors, left behind a legacy filled with remarkable achievements and intriguing mysteries. While much is known about his life and campaigns, several aspects continue to elude historians and scholars. Here are 10 mysteries and unanswered questions surrounding Alexander the Great. 1. Cause of death. Alexander's death in 323 BCE remains a subject of debate. While the official cause is listed as a fever, the exact illness or poison that led to his demise remains unclear. Some theories propose natural causes, while others suggest foul play. 2. Burial site. After his death, Alexander's body was embalmed and placed in a gold sarcophagus. The final resting place of his body has never been definitively identified, despite extensive searches and claims by different locations, including Alexandria in Egypt. 3. Succession plan. Alexander's empire was vast, and his sudden death led to a power struggle among his generals and administrators. It remains unclear whether Alexander had a clear succession plan in place or if he intended for the empire to be divided among his top commanders. 4. Parentage. Mystery. Alexander's parentage has been a subject of speculation. While officially recognized as the son of King Philip II and Queen Olympias of Macedon, some have questioned the identity of his biological father, giving rise to theories of divine or supernatural origins. 5. Lost Tomb of Achilles. Alexander reportedly visited the legendary Tomb of Achilles in Troy during his campaigns. The exact location of Achilles' tomb remains uncertain, and it is unclear whether Alexander indeed found and visited it. 6. The burning of Persepolis. The burning of the ancient Persian capital, Persepolis, by Alexander's forces in 330 BCE remains a historical mystery. The motivations behind this act, whether it was an act of revenge, policy, or accident, have been the subject of debate. 7. Alexander's military tactics. Despite his unparalleled success as a military strategist, the exact details of Alexander's tactical maneuvers and decision-making on the battlefield are not well documented. Historians continue to analyze and interpret his military strategies. 8. Personal beliefs and intentions. Alexander's philosophical and political beliefs, as well as his long-term intentions for his empire, are not fully known. His interactions with philosophers like Aristotle and his vision for the governance of his conquered territories remain topics of speculation. 9. Alexander's health. Throughout his life, Alexander suffered from various health issues, including injuries in battle and illnesses. The extent and impact of these health problems on his rule and decision-making are not definitively understood. 10. Posthumous legacy. Alexander's death led to the fragmentation of his empire into various Hellenistic states. The long-term influence of his conquests on subsequent history, politics, and culture is a complex and ongoing area of study. These mysteries surrounding Alexander the Great's life and legacy continue to captivate historians and researchers, inspiring ongoing investigations and debates. While modern scholarship has shed light on many aspects of his life, there are still gaps in our understanding of this legendary figure and the era he shaped.
Christopher Columbus, hero or villain? Christopher Columbus, known for his pioneering voyages during the late 15th century, is a figure whose legacy has been debated extensively throughout history. The debate centers around whether he should be celebrated as a hero or vilified as a villain. Examining both perspectives sheds light on the complex nature of Columbus's impact on the world. Christopher Columbus is often hailed as a hero due to several significant reasons. His voyages marked a turning point in the Age of Discovery. Firstly, Columbus's exploration and discovery in 1492 were bold and visionary. He embarked on a daring journey across the Atlantic Ocean, ultimately reaching the Caribbean islands, specifically the Bahamas. Columbus's willingness to venture into the unknown and navigate uncharted waters was a remarkable feat during his time. His voyage is celebrated for its audacity and pioneering spirit, expanding European knowledge of the world. Furthermore, Columbus's arrival in the Americas is seen as a bridge between the Old World, Europe, and the New World, the Americas. His exploration initiated what is known as the Columbian Exchange, a transformative exchange of plants, animals, cultures, and ideas between Europe and the Americas. This exchange reshaped societies on both continents, marking the beginning of global interconnectedness and the sharing of diverse elements. Columbus's voyages also contributed to advancements in navigation and shipbuilding. The introduction of the caravel, a nimble sailing vessel, played a pivotal role in his expeditions. These technological innovations not only facilitated Columbus's journey, but also paved the way for future explorers and the broader age of exploration. Europeans were introduced to previously unknown foods like maize, potatoes, and tomatoes, which would later become staples in their diets. Additionally, the exchange of ideas, traditions, and art forms had a lasting impact on both continents, influencing art, music, and religious practices. Columbus's voyages marked the beginning of a global fusion of cultures. Critics, however, argue that Christopher Columbus's legacy is deeply tainted by his actions upon arrival in the Americas, leading to a darker perspective of his character. Upon reaching the Americas, Columbus and his crew engaged in the exploitation and enslavement of indigenous populations. Indigenous people were subjected to forced labor, violence, and the introduction of diseases brought from Europe. The mistreatment resulted in immense suffering and the loss of countless lives. Columbus's actions in this regard have led many to view him as a villain who perpetrated violence and cruelty upon the native inhabitants of the Americas. Furthermore, the arrival of Columbus and the subsequent colonization had devastating consequences for indigenous cultures. Diseases introduced by Europeans, such as smallpox, ravaged native populations that lacked immunity. Forced conversions to Christianity and cultural suppression eroded the rich traditions and civilizations of indigenous peoples, leading to a significant decline in their cultural heritage. Columbus's impact is seen as one that contributed to the suppression and eventual obliteration of indigenous cultures. Critics also argue that Columbus's discovery of the Americas misrepresented the accomplishments of indigenous peoples who had inhabited the continent for millennia. Indigenous civilizations, such as the Maya, Aztec, and Inca, had flourishing societies with advanced architecture, mathematics, and agriculture long before Columbus's arrival. The portrayal of Columbus as a hero often overlooks the achievements and contributions of these indigenous cultures. Moreover, Columbus's voyages are considered the early stages of European imperialism in the Americas. While his exploration opened doors to the New World, it also laid the groundwork for subsequent colonization, exploitation, and the transatlantic slave trade. This legacy of colonization left a lasting impact on the Americas, with far-reaching consequences for indigenous populations, including displacement, violence, and loss of autonomy. In conclusion, the debate over Christopher Columbus's legacy as a hero or a villain is multifaceted, reflecting the complexity of historical figures and events. Both perspectives offer valuable insights into the impact of Columbus's voyages on the world and its people. It's essential to consider these perspectives to gain a comprehensive understanding of this pivotal moment in history and the broader implications of European exploration and colonization.